Hey y'all, welcome back to Robe Trotting. Today we are going to talk about a very timely topic, which is how to survive a Danish winter.
Yeah, and to introduce ourselves, I'm Mike, and my favorite part of Danish winter is shamelessly putting on PJs at 4 p.m. on a Wednesday.
My name is Derek, and my favorite part of winter in Denmark is hearing Americans mispronounce the word hygge.
It's Hygge?
Hygge.
Hygge. It's
Yeah.
Hygge season.
Yeah. So winter in Denmark can be cold and miserable and wet, but that doesn't mean that you need to be. So we're going to tell you how to not just survive, but thrive during winter in Denmark.
So our first tip for how you can not only survive but thrive in a Danish winter is you got to prepare yourself. So what that means is you got to know that seasonal depression is a thing. So get yourself some vitamin D and start early taking the pills every day so you get your body ready for the darkness of the winter. Other good tip, make sure you stock up on some good hand cream because especially indoors with the radiators running, it's going to be dry. So you want to make sure that you can avoid chapped hands and do like Derek is and make sure you moisturize frequently.
Yeah, and any other product that you might need. So chapstick, gloves, and good gear for when you're riding your bike or walking around in winter. So that may mean that you need to get some boots or a heavy jacket. Danish winter is also very wet, so we may not get as much snow as our neighbors to the north, but it's still Scandinavia in winter. So you're going to need some winter gear. A heavy jacket and boots will serve you well.
Yeah, and the other thing to realize is sunrise and sunset, especially if you're not coming from a northern climate like this, in the dead of winter, it's going to be sunrise at like 8:30. So that means you're going to be waking up for work in the dark. So we highly recommend getting yourself a light up alarm clock. So something that's going to gradually have the light come on before the alarm goes off to help mimic the idea of the rising sun. It really has helped us be able to wake up and be ready for the day as opposed to hating life for the fact that it's going to be dark for 2 more hours after waking up.
Yeah, and I know that our Danish friends are going to tell us that we're weak, but you know what? If you don't grow up with the sun not rising until 8:30, 9 o'clock and setting at 4 p.m. or even earlier, then you're just not going to be used to it. And this alarm clock, I can tell you, is probably the best purchase that we've made since we moved to Denmark, besides the blackout shades for summer.
Yes.
Our next tip is to turn your home into a nest. It's where you're going to be spending most of your time indoors during the winter months, so you want to make sure that it's a nice place to be. And that's why Danes always have white walls, have their furniture made out of natural materials, and really go the extra mile by lighting candles and having just a cozy atmosphere to spend the winter months.
Yeah, this is the kind of time where you want to make sure that you invest in your place, even if you're just renting a room in a flat in Copenhagen, because this is where you're going to be, like Derek said. And so you want to make sure that you set yourself up so that you have nice, warm, comfy blankets and PJs and candles everywhere. So on one of those nights, even just a weeknight where you're feeling maybe a little bit down, you can get yourself turned right back up by putting some good music on, having a nice hot cup of coffee, surrounding yourself with candles. It really makes for a nice cozy atmosphere and helps you forget about the fact that it's roughly 0 and raining and dark for the next 4 months.
Exactly. It's the time of year where you're going to be inside more than normal, so you might as well make it a place that you can relax, be cozy, and recharge.
So another tip to make sure that you can survive and thrive in the Danish winter is to make sure that you stay active. I mean, as easy as it is to just sit on your couch and watch Netflix from Christmas to Easter, that's not a very productive or healthy way to live. And also, it's not going to get you through the winter that well. You got to be doing something that gets you up and out, gets the blood flowing a little bit, has you interacting with people, something that really adds some activity into your life.
Now, if you're just like me, winter can be a really tough time to stick with routines. And part of that is because it's cold, it's miserable, it's wet, it's dark. You just want to go home and get cozy and comfortable. But maintaining some kind of fitness or activity is actually really important. You can go for a walk just because it's dark outside. You can still go to the gym just because it's dark outside. Find ways to make activity and fitness part of your life. Maybe join a club or a sport. Or if you don't like that, then maybe go to the local swimming pool and make sure that you're swimming in the winter. Do something to stay active, even if it's indoors and you don't want to be outside.
Yeah, this is part of why sports like badminton are so popular here in Denmark, because it's the perfect thing if you're still into competitive sports to do inside. It's more of an indoor sport than an outdoor sport here. Other thing, if you're not the most athletic person, that's okay. You can still be active in other ways. Find clubs that you can join, like knitting clubs or card games that are going on. There's plenty of different things you can do as well, but something to get you out of the house, interacting with other people, and get at least your blood or your mind flowing over the course of the winter.
Yeah, while winter is a great time to relax and recharge and maybe have a little bit of a slower lifestyle, you still want to stay active and sharp. Okay, our next tip is to actually be kind of a tourist in your own hometown or the country of Denmark. This means that you can go and find a neighborhood that you're not used to and look for a coffee shop or something that you haven't been to before. Maybe even just get on a train and go to a stop you haven't been to or a town that you haven't been to before and see what they have. Maybe go see a movie in another town or find a museum that you've never heard of or been to yet. It can be just a way to explore and get to do some things even indoors that you wouldn't normally do except during this part of winter.
Yeah, and one of the nice things, especially living here in Copenhagen, is that wintertime is when all the tourists are gone. So now's your chance to go into a museum and not have it be overrun with tourists. It's your chance to maybe go to restaurants that normally are maybe overrun a little bit. It can be a really neat experience. So do something you wouldn't normally do. And I think so often, we've always found it this way. You never explore your hometown. You're always like, oh, I'll do it when other people come. Or why would I go to a museum? I live here. I'll do that when I go travel someplace else. Do it. Now's the time. Get out and explore, feel something different, and you'll really have a good time with that. It lets you have something to look forward to, too, if you make plans for the weekend to maybe meet with friends or even just go yourself and do a little self-travel in your own town. Have a little fun with it.
Exactly, because by summer, you're going to be really busy and you're not going to have time for these things. So use the slow pace of winter to schedule some of these things you wouldn't normally do.
So another tip on how to survive and thrive the Danish winter is to make sure that you get outside. Now, as easy as it is to only do indoor activities, you got to get outside as well. That's why we told you in the very beginning to make sure that you get some really good gear to go outside, good jackets and gloves and boots. It's really important to get outside, otherwise all you're going to see are the same 4 really white walls all day long, and that's not fun for anybody. So make sure you go for a walk, whether it's in your neighborhood, in the city, or maybe get out in nature a little bit and go on a little hike along the seashore or in the woods a little bit. Nice way to break the monotony of being inside all winter long.
That's right, and even though we haven't read any scientific peer-reviewed studies on this, our Danish friends say that the cold weather is good for your lungs, so that's one reason to get out there. But no matter what, like you said, it breaks up the monotony, and it's good for your mental health. And just get outside, bundle up, and go for a walk. And if you really want to be a true Viking, you can even find some water and go jump in the ocean or the harbor, whatever's around you, and do a little winter bathing. So that may be more of a Copenhagen thing. At least some people say that. But hey, you know what? It's supposed to be really good for the circular system, good for your lungs, even the libido, they say. So, may as well give it a try.
Plus, you get out in the cold, it makes that nice hot cup of coffee that you have taste all the better, or that walk into the sauna makes it even better if you're nice and super cold from being outside.
Okay, another tip for surviving and thriving during the Danish winter is to maybe consider leaving Denmark. Now, I know that sounds like a very obvious thing, but look, Danes are some of the world's most avid travelers, and if you're living in Denmark or you are Danish, you might as well get out a little bit and hold that stereotype true, even in winter. So it's very popular to go for ski holidays. Maybe you'll go to Norway or Sweden and go skiing, or maybe south to the Alps, but it never hurts to get away and enjoy a little bit of outside of Denmark.
Yeah, if you're going to do a winter holiday, just be careful because week 7, and it's always week 7, is the winter school holiday, so prices are going to be a lot higher to fly out then. But at the same time, if you're not a skier and you want to get away from the snow and the cold, you can go south too. You can find some nice spots on the Mediterranean or down to Turkey or to the Canary Islands out in the Atlantic. So other places where you can find some sun and some sand to be able to have a little bit of an adventure there and get away from the cold and doom and gloom. Also, we know some friends that save up to do their big holiday, not in the middle of summer, but actually in the middle of crap winter, and do, say, 3 weeks in Southeast Asia. Now's the time to go because you know what? You ain't going to miss the cold here. And you can save your good time for when the weather's nice in summer.
Right, so whether you go near or far, it's definitely a good idea and a tip to plan some trip excursion outside of Denmark during the winter because it's great to have something to look forward to, especially in the depths of January, February, and even early March.
So our last tip for how to survive and thrive in the Danish winter is get hygge. There's a reason why hygge is a Danish catchphrase. It's gone all over the globe, and it's because that is how you survive Danish winter. A hyggelig night is going to be the best way that you can be able to enjoy, survive, and thrive a nice Danish night.
Exactly, and I think that embracing this period where you can kind of slow down, recharge, you know that it's going to be very different soon. You'll be much busier in the spring and summer months, but you can use winter to your advantage to just enjoy the people that are around you. So this may be your close circle of friends, the people that you live with, your family that you live with, or really anybody that you choose to have around you during this period of time where life kind of slows down a little bit. And it's nice. You should lean into it, embrace it.
Yeah, and it's easy to have a nice Hygge night. Like, it's pretty simple. Get a couple friends together, some board games, a bottle of wine, some candles, maybe 2 or 3, but something that's going to be able to set the mood. Yeah, some dice. Go ahead and play. Did you get little Maya?
Yeah.
Oh, God bless. This is what you want to do. This is the way that you go through the night, by making special memories, getting to make good friends with you. If you're new in town and you only have a few friends, this is how you can expand your friend circle a little bit. These are the nights that really forge friendship, because you're sitting together, swapping stories, enjoying some wine, getting maybe a little bit tipsy, and having a really, really good time. Honestly, I love Hygge winter.
Exactly.
So the most important thing as you try to survive and thrive in a Danish winter is to remember, it's the Danish winter that lets you have an amazing Danish summer. As dark and cold as it may be, just remember, summer is just around the corner, and those are going to be those beautiful days that you're laying out in the park or on the harbor until 10, 11 o'clock at night, enjoying those long, long Danish nights.
Exactly. Definitely remember to keep a positive mindset. It's a great time for self-care. Lean into it. Know that it's kind of something we're all going through together, and just make the most out of Danish winter. You know, this is a great time to relax, recharge, and sit around watching some YouTube like you're doing now. Which brings me to the final point. Make sure that you like and subscribe and hit the bell for notifications so that you can spend your winter watching robe trotting videos on YouTube. But thank you guys so much for watching today, and make sure you stick around all through winter and later on in the year.
Thanks guys.
Bye.